school, doctor, to it has been going for a while now. They have this strange movement, of his hands. He like to always to hit his chest, and also sometimes opening and closing his eye. I'm not
Oh,
sure. Yeah, and was trying, to I said okay, he might grow out of it, but obviously now it started to make him problem in the school because the teacher did call me and say that with this movement he started to distract the children around him. So really we don't know what to do. Acid magnesium at least. So yeah, why not? Restless leg syndrome.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one of the causes of restless leg syndrome is what?
It's
Or
iron deficiency.
association, iron deficiency, yes. Yeah, so it's not wrong. Doing blood in that cases is not wrong, okay, to make sure that there is no metabolic disturbance. That's fine. Okay, but I feel that you are not, you say it and you are worried about it. That's fine. Do blood. Why not?
I blanked out and I was like,
Disorder team to evaluate him. Meanwhile, we will try the exposure behavior therapy, okay, which is the Orbit. You can see the Orbit program. It's online program, online referral therapy, okay, or you refer him to the local, mental health team in the clinic where they can assign him to exposure and response prevention or comprehensive behavior interventional therapy for tics, okay. So either this, either that. Like, or both, that's fine, okay, because Orbit is for free, but the issue is it's related, I think, to which university? Nottingham University. It's Nottingham University, so I'm not sure if they will be. Although when I enter and that I see the program, it said for anyone want to volunteer. So I'm not. So both of them, the Neuro Impulse, wrist device for that is still under trial. Okay, and the Orbit, both of them under Nottingham, but Orbit is already approved by NHS, Orbit online program. Okay, and as I read there, it's not target certain locality. You can all over the UK can refer themselves. Okay, and it's online. I mean, it's computer based. There is no therapist. It's computer based program. Okay, and the child will go through it. That's only. Okay, and then if you want to do some meditation, or decrease the anxiety and the depression of the child, give him some what is the fidget toy as an
fidget
alternative.
toy.
That's all. Yeah, that's all can be. Lastly, because even Tourette's syndrome, they are giving them antipsychotic. Yes. So lastly, if there is no control of the tics and no control of, for example, if he's Tourette's, they are giving antipsychotic, okay, but that will be the decision of the CAMHS,
Specialist.
okay, yeah. So if you have time, you can discuss all of that, and then the school safety netting as you did. So you did it fine, to be honest. So the idea behind this case, first to know the differential of the tics in the children, and the other thing that you be systematized. If you have a structure, even the case if you don't know it, don't panic because it will come, it will flow. Okay, you are a doctor, you are being seeing patient, now at least 3 years just in your training, and you have been doctor before that.
Old Ryan's Tourette's is so bad, he's thought to have one of the most extreme cases in the UK, and that makes finding a job a nearly impossible challenge.
And apologies in advance if you find anything offensive in this, but we think it's important to allow Ryan to speak freely.
So this started about 15?
No. Yeah, when I was 15, I went through about a month or two of just pressure in my head, and obviously 15's a year, like the sort of year where you're going through a lot of puberty, and then you've got your GCSEs on top of that. So having that amongst everything else was just like horrible.
And they didn't really know what it was. They thought that because you had this intense sort of head pains, migraines. They thought
Yeah.
it was cluster migraines.
Yeah, they yeah, ow. They classed it as cluster migraines, and that's all they put it down to. And then I was doing a drama performance, and after I'd finished that, I turned around to my teacher and I said, I need to go to the medical room.
Yeah.
So I sat in the medical room for about half hour, and then just the only way I can describe it is if somebody's like popped a balloon in a small space.
Yeah.
So suddenly all that space has come back in my head, and then my head started twitching. So obviously the schools rang my dad, the hospital, off I go, and yeah, they put me through tests for tumours to see if there's anything else in my brain that wasn't working. And
How frightening.
Well, eventually they thought you were going to grow out of it.
yeah, they class it as teenage tics, but it's sort of, I didn't have many vocal tics at that point. It went from head, shoulder, and then one day I was on the floor looking like I was having an epileptic fit.
Because you got a job when you were 21, I think.
Yeah.
And you were working. But it got worse.
It did. So I managed to get myself through the end of school, done 3 years at college, and then thought I'd go to uni. And then these seizures that I didn't know were tic tacs at the time are just happening on a frequent basis. I was so far away from home. They said it's probably best that you go home.
Oh gosh.
And then I went to work, and then a year ago, February, just gone. Yeah, I thought I was going to be like having one of my seizures, so I went and sat down in the manager's office. Nubbin! Yeah. And yeah, I asked for a glass of water, and then I instantly responded saying, "No, you can die of thirst." Out of nowhere.
And that was it. And that was the
was
beginning
it.
Did it
of
shock
the
you when it
vocal-
happened?
It was very shocking. It was sort of like, oh, okay. At first, I didn't know if I was going mad, if I was talking to myself, or
Yeah.
I was like,
Where did that come from? And you describe how it feels, because to resist it, it hurts. You can't do it.
It does hurt. The only way I can describe it is if you want to sneeze, and you want to really sneeze,
Yeah.
and somebody says you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to do that here.
Yeah.
So you're not allowed to let that sneeze out. That's what it feels like to constantly
Holding
suppress
it back.
And then people don't get that. I mean, yeah, there's still a lot of stigma around it. That's
Yeah.
And you say
horrible.
that what you say, a lot of the vocalisations are observational.
Yeah, they are. So there's like, I'm not racist, but this is one of my big point of views that I want to make across is I will go around town, and I almost pulled a lovely lady's hijab off, telling her it's too warm for a scarf. This was in the summer, and that upsets me because I'm not that kind of person.
What sort of luck have you had with applying for jobs?
The funny thing is I wasn't actually, when I was approached by the programme, I wasn't actually looking for a job, because it wasn't long before that I was going around a shop and 2 workers in their uniform were following me around, copying my noises and laughing and pointing at me. So, and they were in uniform and they were working. Luckily now that's been resolved. I was called in by the manager to talk to all his staff about all different disabilities.
Yeah.
So I can't fault that manager in that store anymore, but it knocks you down to
Yes,
the point
I
where you
bet it
don't want
does.
to come out.
You say that roughly the same amount of people suffer with Tourette's that suffer with autism, but there's 1% of the funding for Tourette's.
It's about the research. So I've recently completed a report for the British Psychology Society, and I did a desktop literature review of all of the evidence that we have about various conditions in the workplace. And so there's more research on Tourette's in children, but there's very, very few papers on Tourette's in adulthood.
And what about advice for anybody with a disability who's trying to find their place in a workplace? What advice would you give to them?
So people with disabilities have often been told all the things they can't do. So going through a diagnosis like Ryan's been through is quite a limiting experience. He's constantly surrounded by experts saying these are all the things that you're struggling with, these are the things that you find difficult. And so it's really important to just re-engage with the things that you can do, and remember that you have strengths and you have abilities. And Ryan's got amazing strengths and abilities. He's a wonderful person to be around, and he's really hardworking, really creative, and all of those things sort of shine through when you get to know.
Hello everyone, please for the rest of the teaching don't forget to join us either in the SCA Level Up YouTube channel or SCA Level Up WhatsApp group. Okay, you will have a lot of free material, okay, and a lot of opportunity for learning and teaching. Be aware that we are doing the 300 SCA Level Up cases course that will finish by the end of September, early October, and for sure our mini mock 6 cases back to back or our teaching. And please don't forget regarding our upcoming hybrid um, 300 cases and mock courses will be on November time. And lastly, upcoming soon is the ECG and respiratory function test courses that will conduct in November time. Okay, in November time. And coming also soon, the peers card, the SCA peers card. Okay, regarding the cases that we are discussing. So, for example, this is the impetigo, and here is the Grenache line Berbera, and I post in the WhatsApp channel a lot of other cards, and for sure in the 300 cases SCA level up course we are giving all the cards that is needed. Okay, it will be very helpful for rapid revision at the night of the exam, just to refresh your brain regarding the management and the key of the data gathering point. Okay, hope you will enjoy our teaching. Please feel free to contact me if you need any help and support. um, Take care.